Hey everyone, and welcome to the part of the month where Choochagatari Unlimited Trademarks Video Game Choochoo's Anime Podcast talks about a specific anime that we watched. Before we get to that, with me is, well, as always, LV.
As always, LV.
And as always, John.
For now,
Oh, shit.
For now, I've become John, and this is extremely powerful.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something about, like, how, like, Precure is going to kill you or something, and, like, you're going to...
We'll fucking see, 'cause I just did something bad with
something bad?
Oh, ominous. Very ominous.
Well, the Precure's not the show we're going to talk about first. I will say that. We'll talk about that later. We're going to talk about Bakano. Bakano.
I can't do this
Which,
thing.
what does Bakano mean? Like, is it a candy bar, like the opening implies?
No.
It's Italian for ruckus, I know.
Apparently, I am not sure about that.
No, I
sure
think
the
it's...
author is just
I've never heard anyone say that.
I have never heard an actual Italian person clarify that. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's legit. Or like the author... Ryoga Narita's just out of his mind, which he is, to write something like this. And
he certainly is.
And so many other books that are all in the same universe.
I feel like they should have named the show RAYLE. I think that would have been pretty good.
Yeah, with the exclamation point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you, friend of the show and ex-choocher, Ryan from Emoji Drome and Borat Club, he's a pretty big fan of Bakano, would give me a lot of guff that I hadn't seen it yet. And when I told him that I was watching, or after I was pretty much done watching it, I just texted him yeah, hey, it's really good, and he just texted me back, "The Rail Tracer," and after how he spelt it, I just for the rest of the night I was just muttering to myself, "Rail Tracer,"
like how jacuzzi spot. So that's a good question to start with. Did we all watch the dub or what? What did we watch?
I watched the dub.
I watched the dub.
You watched the dub? Did you, LV? Yeah.
Yeah, the dub.
Okay, so we all watched the dub. I have no idea what the sub for the show is like. I'm sure it's good as well. Don't get me wrong. But you don't get Jacuzzi Splot going, "The Rail Tracer." Oh, God.
They say Rail Tracer in the sub. I've seen a little of the sub, the original.
Do they say it like that, or do they?
No, not like that. No, they don't say the.
Okay.
They don't have the exaggerated New York accent, of course.
What's the point?
So that loses
Yeah.
That loses the charm.
I don't really need to talk more about what Bakano is, which mainly is because I don't really know how you describe Bakano, in broad sense, because it's
just a series of stories overlapping in a wild night during a multiple train hijackings on the same train.
It's like a couple nights too, if you consider the stuff that happens in New York.
Well,
as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just everything just overlaps on the train, but yeah, things just happen, and these characters' lives just come to a head together and blend, and people make friends, people kill each other, people
resurrect.
People are immortal.
Stop being able to die.
Accidentally made a deal with the devil at some point, but that's 3 centuries ago prior, so that's another thing. So it's more than 3 nights, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I'd say even more than Durarara, which is this author's other major work, that's Durarara has a lot of overlapping stories, a lot of them, but this is way more, crazy and out there, I think, with it. A lot more, going with it, I think. But yeah, so Bakano is good, I think. What do y'all think?
Yeah, strong agree. Very, very, very strong agree. I actually am a big fan of the series as a whole. At least I'm trying to, because he has so much other stuff. But but I am a big fan of like this Narita's work. I read the Baccano novels. I do read the Baccano light novels. There are over 20 of them right now.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like,
he's an
whoa.
unhinged man. I don't know what's going on. And nonetheless, the most recent volume, or at least the one that's pending, is still like on hiatus. It's delayed. But I think he still is simultaneously updating Durara as well. Again,
he did a Fate book. Do you know about that?
He did a Fate spin-off recently, which is weird. I don't.
Fuck! Now I gotta read that. What was it about?
It's where Enkidu's from.
Oh shit! Okay.
Strange Fake.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's him.
Fuck.
He did like a weird Bleach spin-off. I don't know why. I don't know who asked him to do that, but that's fine.
He chose to, probably.
Someone asked him to do that. But the three, or at least four, like, it's Baccano, Durara, and Vamp, which is something about vampires, and that's like the only one of course, that's the only one of like this greater universe that I think is actually complete. It's like only 3 volumes, I believe.
Oh, well, okay.
I think, or no, I mixed that up. I'm sorry. I don't actually have no idea what's going on with the vampire one. No one talks about it, which I think is weird. Like I would think it would have been hyped up during this weird trend anime had, like with vampires, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
There's another one that also takes place in Japan, but like in a kind of fictionalized Japan where it's about these group of kids and they like live on this artificial island that's like levitating in the sky. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't know much about it, but that one's actually finished, and I think that's the only one that might take place deep in the future. I don't know much about it, but apparently it's a consequence of all these other 3 series.
I was gonna say the characters from Isaac and Miria from Baccano show up in Durara at one point.
Yeah, they're tourists in Japan very briefly.
They're joining a gang accidentally, I believe, was what they were doing.
Of course, as they do. But yeah, the anime, that we've seen is an reinterpretation, adaptation of actually the first 3 volumes, and I think this is like one of the best anime adaptations I've seen, in a sense where I feel like it does a lot of nice things about it that I think the book does a bad job at, or at least based on like, and it's difficult to critique this series and like its writing. I love the content, I love the characters, I love the story, but like in terms of the actual writing and presentation to writing, it's a little hard to critique it because it's, again, a translated thing. There's some issues I've had with the book where I feel like it's strongly, unfortunately, like a translation, like, why did they go with that? Like, I think it's like a really, it's a very chaotic book where a lot of things, are like intertwining and things are not necessarily in chronological order. So I wonder if there's like a difficulty when it came to those things. But there were definitely some like questionable choices in the book's writing that I'm not sure is accurate to what was the intention. But anyway, the series is a summation of the first 3 novels, which, like, the first book entirely takes place in New York City, and, like, all of that stuff. And then volumes 2 and 3 is everything that goes on in the Flying Pussyfoot. Yes, that's the name of the train. The Flying Pussyfoot.
Yeah, I was thinking whenever I heard that, like, whoever named this train, fuck off. Like, get out of here. They did anything back then. They just let people do fucking anything, and they got away with it.
Like, guys named Richard called themselves Dick. We called detective. They called it, like, fuck off.
There's a man in this named Lad Russo. Like, someone let that happen. Like,
I mean, Jacuzzi Spot, I think we...
Yeah, Jacuzzi Spot.
It's really strange. And, like, that poor kid doesn't deserve it. Like,
No, you're right.
That poor guy. But yeah, it is getting hard to surmise, like, what actually happens. It really is just, it's really just the chaos, as supposedly
it's an experience.
As the title claims to be, meaning like chaos or ruckus. Again, questionable. If anyone speaks Italian, please verify. Where just a group of like these mafiosos, and then like these just just individual like lone wolf criminals, and again another like just like all this whole band of misfits that not necessarily are connected to each other, but become connected because of this tying bind when it came to some sort of crazy pact with a demon years ago on a ship vessel in the 1700s, where these group of random strangers were like, yeah, let's do some alchemy, let's make some like elixir for immortality, and like unfortunately that thing carries over into 1920s New York, where how should I say it? another production of this elixir unfortunately gets into the wrong hands due to this conundrum and confusion and miscommunication across these different band of misfits, and that's how sort of things come into play and where they unfortunately become connected at that point. And this carries over into like basically this historic train ride that in the end kind of like solidifies what the crux of the anime series is, which is what the main focus is. The main focus of the anime, all episodes, is just entirely on this train, but told in different perspectives. And how it's done is done in a very brilliant, concise way that I feel like is more clear than what the book ends up doing.
Yeah.
The first volume of the book, actually, when it takes place in New York, is framed through... So actually, let me say, like, the anime, I think, does a good job of removing characters that are not necessary to tell this particular arc. The way the series opens up is framed through this unnamed Japanese photographer who wins this trip to go to New York for, like, a 5-day trip, right? And, of course, the guy, they never named this guy. We only know he's a man, like a young man. And... He goes to New York, and a classic, the first thing that happens to him is he gets mugged, and he loses his expensive equipment and stuff. And then, given how low the situation is, he's forwarded to, like, meet up with someone in particular. And this person is a significant character in Bakuno, eventually they reveal themselves to be, who tells him the story of, like, all this bullshit that happens, as we have seen in the anime, which is the events of the train and, like, some of the stuff in New York. And, they reveal this photographer... Actually, they don't reveal it, but, like, this photographer is, like, a neighbor to Mikado and Durarara, actually. So that's kind of, like, what... They actually outright connect this story to, like, Durarara from the start. But I liked how the anime didn't do that. Like, we don't need this weird framing device of, like... Oh yeah, you gotta have like this secondhand like perspective. The anime kind of just jumps in and throws you into this cacophony of chaos. Like the first episode alone is confusing. Like if you've never seen this before, have no context of what's going on. The first episode's like, what the hell is this? But I felt like it was very enticing, to move forward and figure out like, oh okay, I get what's going on. They're gonna explain to me these things backwards, and it was pretty satisfying. I felt like no things were left behind. I think the anime did a good job from, like, as someone who has read the book series. And in a way, I feel like the anime did a better job, in a way, conveying some things where... I think this is one of those cases where sometimes adaptations need to figure out where they need to reduce and, like, just remove things. And I think they made a good decision here, where there were even other characters that outright were not in these episodes at all, from what I remember. Like, very minor ones that would have just been kind of, like, made things more confusing, I think. But yeah, that's my perspective. I feel like this is just one of the strongest anime adaptations I've seen, as someone who's read the source material.
Ah, well, it's good to get that sort of take, because, I don't think me or John has read any of it, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you for reading that.
Honestly, I think I might go ahead and do that now.
Yeah. So, John, how do you feel? Tell us, yeah.
I have become a huge fan of this. Like, this very quickly became one of my favorites. I know that I say this a lot for, like, when we're watching anime on here, but, when we're hitting these classics, when we're hitting these really good recommendations, it just keeps coming. And Bakuno is very much one of those shows that just hits all the right buttons for me. It is extremely fun, action heavy. It's got a great ensemble cast. Like, I am so weak to ensemble casts when they start off maybe fighting against each other, maybe not understanding each other, and then by the end of it, all these ragtag group of people are all friends. Like, oh my god, I would never expected, like, a Jacuzzi to be friends with everybody, and, like, the whole mafia gang, they're all hanging out with, like, Isaac and Miria, and I love that so much.
Yeah.
Like, all, like, this found family stuff. Like, found family stuff gets me so good. Ugh. So I really, really loved it. And I don't know, I mean, like, I think the thing that, like, I'll go into it a little bit later, but I started to take notes while I was watching shows this past few weeks. Mm-hmm. And I guess the thing that says the most about Bakuno is that I only got to, like, episode 3, and I stopped taking notes because I was so invested. I didn't want to pause to write something down. I was just like, I just love this so much. I just need to watch this. And there's so many strong characters, and it's just a blast to watch overall. I guess the only thing I would say, just to the two negatives, I would say, is just there's like two characters that or not even there's one arc and then like one character that I would say is like are the weak characters. I would say that the whole like Eve arc is kind of just there. Like I get what they're doing, but like any time that the scene was just her like looking around for her brother, I was just like, okay, get on with it. Like a bunch of those other characters, like the especially like the information brokers, they're like important characters, but just them just scurrying around for Eve, and Eve just like being like, "Where's my brother? Where's my brother?" It's like, I don't care. Like he's a bastard,
and it doesn't get really resolved either.
No, it doesn't.
It's like it's like an arc that unfortunately carries past the train arc too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they do show that in the like little OVA. There's like a couple of episodes at the end where like they dig up Dallas's like barrel and he's not in there anymore.
Yeah.
So, obviously like something at the end of the anime is they're like, you want to fill in the rest of the story. You can imagine what happened. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's definitely more because Baccano's still going, but at the same time, like in the context of the anime, you're supposed to sit there and keep thinking like, where did Dallas go? What is he gonna do? He's a half immortal. What's he gonna do? And so, that part it's fine. It's only a couple of bits of the episodes. I didn't die, and then I really liked the OVAs. I think the reason why I was actually sold to maybe start reading the light novels, which is funny because I finished the 13 like main episodes, and I just kind of thought that felt perfect. I don't want any more. Like that felt like just a cap. I was done. Then I was like, I'll watch the OVAs and I'll see what's up. And when I was done with the OVAs, I was just kind of like, no, I could do more. Yeah, you know what? Give me more. Yeah, I want to keep hanging out with these characters. That's fine. So like that sold me on the light novels. But then the only thing was, I don't even remember the dude's name, but like basically the villain of the OVAs is that dude with the big like monkey wrench who idolizes Lad, and I just thought he was extremely like overwritten. He's just like the fucking Joker. He's just sitting there like saying a bunch of crazy shit and throwing his big monkey wrench around. Yeah, and he's just really boring, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, whatever. Like, he's pretty much just Lad, but like he's like less just like standardly like imposing and threatening. He's just like rambling, and it's like less fun than Lad, because like Lad is just completely unhinged, and he doesn't give a shit what happens to himself. He just cares about just killing as many people as possible, and like he's just this. Like, everyone else around them has these, like, motivations and goals, and then Lad is just there to, like, throw a monkey wrench into it and be this just violent force, and that is interesting in that context. But then this dude shows up, and he just... He's trying to have some kind of weird motivation. He's trying to have this, like, logic to his villainy, but it just doesn't really work. He's just like blabbering, and it really just made me miss Lad in that situation where I was just like, I just want this like pure evil person to.
Just this warped individual.
Yeah.
This warped individual who is giving his all into every fucking scene that he is in, just all the way.
Yeah, exactly. Like that absolutely helped too. Was that like you could tell that like the voice actor was just like that is the so many voice actors in this are just chewing the scenery, like him and Vino too, like the rail tracer like chewing like just grabbing entire handfuls of scenery and shoving it into their mouths, like those two, like Lad and Vino, like when they fought, that was so much fun because those were the two just like most over the top characters just butting heads. Like that was so fun just seeing them fight.
Like I think the best right, the best scene to like show it really who Lad is the boxing scene, and I feel like half the time the Dub's voice actor, who his voice sounds familiar, I need to check his name again, like really just improv'd. I feel like that scene, I don't remember like any of those lines like being said at all, but the boxing scene where he's just pulverizing that man, I think so. But like, yeah, like I think like, yeah, this is also like a very strong dub too, you know. And it's great that like, yeah, like these, like this cast really embraced who they are and like kind of like was able to like read who these characters are supposed to be and really fully perform what they were. Like Isaac and Miri are like great. You know, like for example, like again, all the over the top characters that should be over top. Like I think like the performances were done well for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like you saying that the way that it's told, like, is in media res the right word?
Yeah.
Is that yeah, like. So. Like, the way that it's told like that, like, the episode Isaac and Miri unintentionally bring happiness to everyone around them, or whatever, that's really good. That's a really good episode to just have to break up the pace in the middle of the series or so. Because those two motherfuckers are out of this world. Like, everyone says they have, like, one brain cell, but it's like they have one brain cell they share.
Yeah,
and it just bounces between them.
Yeah.
They're really good. But on the points that you were saying before, with regards to Claire, the RAYLE TRAESHA, love that man. I like his scene on the roof where he is like, I will never die. Mercy and compassion are virtues of the strong. And believe me, friend, I am strong. I was like, holy shit, this man.
And I especially love that Claire is just so, like, he's so obsessed with the idea that he will not die. And that just clashes with Lad's obsession with seeing, like, tearing down people who think they won't die. Because that completely ruins what Lad's about. Because he's like, I love seeing people who think they'll never die in front of me. And then he's defeated by somebody who's like that. Like, that's so good.
And it's just the extra layer of funniness when, you know, they don't know that there's literally... And even the characters who are immortal themselves, like, there's literally walking around immortals who are, like, the worst people to be immortal.
And then he's not immortal.
Yeah,
the RAYLE TRAESHA dude.
Immortal.
He kills, like, so many people, and just, like something I really thought was funny, like, in all of the scenes that he's in, is just the blood he's covered in, just, like, head to toe, basically, like, in every scene. He just
it's the entire front of him, which is really funny.
This whole front.
Like, his back is, like, he's wearing, like, the conductor's outfit, so it's like a light white, and then the entire front half of him is covered in blood.
He's just, like, out of this world. There's just there's so much good stuff in
and him scaring Rachel, just like, asking her for her ticket because he knew that she got on without paying. It's so good.
There's just like a lot of really good scenes in it, like that, like help the way that this is set up specifically. Like, I remember really liking, like, when they're interrogating Rachel or whatever, not interrogating, but, you know, like, asking her, like, what happened on the train. And the head of the newspaper is like, when she's like, he killed that kid or whatever, and he's like, why do you think he did that? And she's like, I don't know. And then the guy's like, well, maybe one day you can ask the kid why, or something like that. And she's like, what? And it's like, this is great. Like, yeah, I really like it. I think I like Durarara more, probably, personally. But I think Baccano is, like, really, really, really good. I think it's really up there. I wish there was more of it. Like, animated, I mean. Like, I appreciate the books,
I agree.
But...
Like, I feel like Durarara benefited at a time when people were very horny for those types of characters.
Yeah.
I feel like if Baccano, like, shifted just a little bit around that same time, you know, like, if, you know, and I wish maybe, you know, like, again, just, you know, crossing fingers, hoping, but I don't know, like, you know, it's, like, a tricky thing. It's been, like, such a long time since that anime has happened, and I don't...
Well, sometimes they just bust shit out of nowhere, like,
right.
You know.
Right, you know, like, I mean, you know, like, it could be a surprise, but, you know, like, you know, it'd be nice to see a resurgence in interest in the series, right? Because I would love to see, like like, so the books go further in about, like, exploring what happens in the 1700s, and that original group of alchemists, which includes Maiza and, says, I can't pronounce his name, the child. And, like, going further into that stuff, like, I would love to see, like, those parts animated, because those are, like, my least, like, parts. I don't hate those parts, but, like, I don't like those parts as much, because they're not, they're more serious, and, like, it doesn't have the same, like, comic, bouncing off here and there, and, like, kind of just pacing of how the rest of the series is, as chaotic as it is. Like, those are just straight. Those are played pretty straight.
Isaac and Miria were not born yet.
Yes, so yeah, exactly. We do not have shenanigans on that level yet. Yeah, and yeah, I would love to see, like, their interpretation of, like, other characters that get introduced, because it's like, yeah, I would like to see, like, if they can do better. Because, again, like, John, you brought up a great point where there's just, like, I feel like there's a couple, like, in the series as a whole, like, I feel like there's a couple of characters that are just copies of, like, already good characters, and it's like, why? Like, that's kind of my, like, big criticism of, like, at least Bakuno. I have not read Durara. Like, I don't know what's, like, in that situation, but, again, like, just reiterating how the anime does a good job of, like, cutting out where it doesn't, it does what it doesn't need. Like Bakuno has, like, an issue where there are definitely, like, some characters I feel like are just, like, a duplicate copy of someone who already exists this way, and, but I guess Narita's just putting this here because that character is not available in this situation and time period. So we're like, I guess I need a version of this person here, but they're not alive yet, or they're already dead at this point. I don't know. But otherwise, it's still a fine series, I think, to even read. Like, it's like, oh, okay. But again, there's definitely some questionable translation choices. Again, I feel like it has to be translation choices, because it's like, I don't think this is what this said. Like, again, like, a good example, yeah, like, I agree, too. Like, I think the Gianard family is kind of, like, the weaker people of the cast. They're kind of just there. I think, like, they're just, like, a back-end example of sort of, like, quote-unquote regular people that unfortunately got caught up in this mess, Right. Like, Dallas is, like, a good, like, exception where they want to demonstrate, yeah, like, someone can have half immortality, so he will still age and stuff, but it's more like his, like, bodily harm done to him, he'll just reset, and that's it. It's more like he's immune to danger, but he will still, like, age and die,
Yeah.
And I think they just wanted to set that sort of example, like, that's an outlier for how everyone else is kind of more ridiculous. But to give an example of, like, a questionable thing that happens in Bakuno, like, so the Gianards have, like, a butler and a maid, and just content warning, like, potentially racist stuff. There's a black maid and, black woman, and the way the writing is, I think they're trying to, like, whoever translated this, like, I think they were trying to suggest she has a vernacular to her voice, but it sounds racist. It just sounds like a bad mammy stereotype the way it's written.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think this is what this was trying to be, or, like, it's just a really bad interpretation. If there were author notes, it was like, yeah, she should sound like she has a vernacular, because that honestly would make sense, right? But, like, it doesn't read correctly. It's very frustrating when those parts happen, and I kind of skip those over. I mean, she doesn't appear often, but, like, when I first got to that part, I'm like, what is this? What is this disaster? I kind of just glazed over, like, whenever those parts come in. It's just really awful. But yeah, it's just one of those case examples, again, as I've said earlier, like, I don't know, like, it's a tricky thing when you're reading text that's very specific in its style and what it wants to do. Mm-hmm. That is translated from a different language. A lot of things might get lost, or, like, the intent gets lost. And again, to go back to the anime, I think, like, it's really great how the dub, I think, was able to capture, I think, what the actual intent was with the feel of how the performances were and the characters are. So, on the other hand, so.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about with Bakuno? Oh, you know what? I just want Dallas Genowad. I think that's funny to say. I think it's fun to say Dallas Genowad.
Yeah.
Genowad.
Yeah, these are all names, like, of someone who's like, I guess that sounds European.
Yeah.
and spun it through a name generator.
Niece Hollystone.
Niece Hollystone.
Like, all right,
sure.
Jacuzzi.
Hey.
No, the fact that nobody's like, your name is fucking Jacuzzi Splot is like a real. That's the only part where I can't suspend my disbelief in this universe. Like nobody's like, what the Splot?
Splot?
Like jacuzzi is one thing, but Splot?
Splot is really disgusting.
It's really not good.
Anyway, niece jacuzzi OTP. That's all I gotta say. The best.
It's warped when she suggested that was the first time they kissed in 10 years or something like that.
She said that was their first kiss. That was their first kiss.
But then, like, she's so horny when she's throwing all the bombs. I was like, what?
What is this relationship? I wonder what.
Maybe it's like Goku, where he fuck but they never kiss.
Jacuzzi is a Goku-like character. No, Jacuzzi is much better than Goku.
He is. He has more.
He has
more
humanity.
going on. He has more going on for him.
Yeah,
He's like, I got a tattoo for my girl so she doesn't feel bad about her scar.
He talks to all his friends and knows who they are and stuff like that. Yeah.
He hasn't, he's not immortal. He hasn't died. So
He wouldn't forget launch ever.
Yeah, right. Right.
He's basically dating Launch. So
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's twisted. Everyone's twisted in the series
All right,
in like a good
so
way. So.
Any other takes, or you want to read the opinions?
Yeah, so pretty much everything we got this week was about Baccano. So let's just go ahead through. I'll do the opinions first, and then we got like 2 questions related to Baccano. Alright, so first off, Trixie sent in an opinion. And she said, Baccano is a fun as hell show, utilizing the 8 chronological order format to add a sense of tension and mystery even when you get an idea of how things will turn out. Regardless of whether you watch the English or Japanese version, the voice cast give it their all and turn in the performances of their careers, exceptional given what most of these VAs have worked on. It adapts the source material brilliantly, making it its own unique thing and having it be endlessly replayable. Throw in some action and an amazing jazz soundtrack, and you have Baccano, a surefire classic. And I absolutely agree with you.
That's true. The opening for Baccano is really, really good, and it doesn't even have vocals, really. Just has that one line. I think it's very impressive.
It's gonna rain tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna rain tonight. It's so good. Da-na-da. And of course they do the Durarara thing that I love, where they slash mid-opening to do the recap and then go back in.
That shit's so good.
When I watched Durarara for the first time, I was like, why doesn't every show do this? This is like the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's clever, I feel like. It's clever.
Yeah.
It makes sense why you would put it there. It doesn't, Now every show's doing the weird, like, we're going to narrate the premise of the show before the opening. I don't know why
I hate it.
Why are they all doing that?
I figured their idea is like, oh, we just air this on TV and people like pick it up and they know what's going on from the get-go and they can piece it together or something. But I don't know. I feel like people these days could just look it up on Google on their phone or something.
Right, or if you've been following the show, you know what's happening. This is not like
it should be like a first 5 episodes thing, maybe.
Yeah, or like, you would do that sort of thing where like the show, if the show's really for kids and maybe the attention span is not as like prolonged, I'm like, let's remind the children what the story is here so
far. Sure. But like Black Clover, where they're like 120 episodes in and they're still doing the like
they do
the Demon King. They want to become the Magic King or whatever. Like it's like okay. Or like Iruma being like Iruma was adopted and he's scared of the demons, and I'm like, not anymore. I don't know if you've been watching the show. But
yeah, they don't even update it. They don't even update to what the development.
Yeah.
So the reason why Baccano's is so good too is that they don't just give you like a flashback to what happened in the last episode. It's mostly just like, here's some reminders of things that you should remember.
Yeah, like keywords.
Yeah.
Key players, keywords.
Yeah, exactly.
This might be important this episode. Wink, wink. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like framing kind of the title in a way. And
yeah. Let's see here. Gregory Zero sent in one that says, first time watching Baccano, and my main complaint is that it was far too short to tell the kind of story that it wanted to. I personally think that cutting down on the minor stories and giving the larger plot points more room to breathe would give the show a better feel. I feel that had the show been able to grab me more, I would feel way better about rewatching parts of it to get more out of the story. If anything, I'm more incentivized to read the novels instead.
So I think, like, the part of that I agree with for sure is, like you said, the Eve parts where she's looking for Dallas. Like, if that stuff was, like... If even half of that stuff was trimmed out, I feel like it would have made everything a lot stronger, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I think it's still pretty strong.
Yeah. The Eve parts, like, I think, again, suffers from the fact that not everything is there. We don't even have... Like, I think a big part of the, again, like I said, that arc extends way beyond the train thing, and like literally the next volume, I think it's the next volume. I think literally the next volume after the train arc like concludes, it like actually goes back in time a little bit and actually fleshes out their family life and talks about that stuff. But we don't get that in the anime at all. We don't get like why their relationship is the way it is, and like actually like even that family's kind of relationship with like Isaac and Miria in a way, and like how like the whole like when Isaac and Miria meet Eve for the first time, like invading her home, right? Like there's like more to that actually. So like because they only showed that like these little bits of that, like she doesn't really have much of a purpose as opposed to being like a kind of like background damsel, right? And like oh yeah, this girl's important, but we're not really stressing why, right? So it does feel like it doesn't need to be there unless they decide, it feels like it doesn't need to be there, like if they're not really going to flesh that out more, right? She doesn't have much of a purpose, like besides the other characters who are very proactive in like what their role is in this bigger mess of chaos, right?
Yeah, in the context of the show, Dallas is basically just like a very important like henchman, basically, and I'm sure there's plenty more in the light novels, but just if you just look at the show, he shows up like 6 times, and he basically just gets the shit beaten out of him like 4 out of those 6 times.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, let's see. One more opinion. It's from Horror Errors, who is Beryl, who recommended this. Baccano easily became one of my favorite series back when I watched it a decade ago, and after the rewatch, I can say that it holds up fantastically. I'm still a fan of Lad Russo's eccentric and murderous nature, the half-a-brain cell duo that is Isaac and Miria, and the cowardly yet courageous Jacuzzi Splot, who might be my favorite of the cast. While the series tells a pretty complete story, I can't help but wish there was more to the anime. I feel like we all came away from this, at the very least, those of us who aren't up to date on the light novels, I guess. I don't know if you're up to date, LV, but
oh no, again, it's more than 20 books at this point, and I am nowhere near that number.
But those of us who aren't reading the light novels, I guess, are coming away from this being like, damn, we should read the light novels.
Yeah, like the best thing you can say about something is I just want more and more of it, right? Like that's always a good sign.
Yeah. Alright, so we have 2 questions related to Baccano. We could just go ahead and hit those.
Sure.
Alright, let's see here. Sundry Punk asks, why is the Brooklyn accent so perfect for anime?
It's really good. Maybe it's because you don't expect it. And, like, it's cartoonish and outlandish, and the only time you usually get to see it in cartoonish stuff is, like, stuff that isn't good, usually.
Look, I'm twisted, and all I can think about right now for a Brooklyn accent. Well, there's like 3 things. It'd be Baccano,
the Joey Wheeler, like
Joey,
yeah,
and fucking, Joey. What's her name?
Popeye. Oh,
Popeye?
I'm sorry.
Did you just say Popeye has a Brooklyn accent?
Popeye had a Brooklyn accent. I did. What would you call his accent?
He's like
gibberish.
Gibberish.
Brooklyn accent.
Or Brooklyn accent.
He's like a dirty sailor.
He is a dirty sailor.
Lampress from Persona Ultimax.
Oh no, she sounds like she's from Boston.
She's kind of got a Brooklyn accent.
She does kind of sound more.
Yeah, she's got a Brooklyn accent. You know?
No, I'm saying she's got Boston, and the reason I can tell you this is because she goes, geez, at one point. And that's exactly what people around here do.
Yeah, that's a very Massachusetts thing, yes.
Yeah.
All All right. Well, then 2, but not Popeye.
Popeye.
That hit me in the gut. I was like, what? Popeye?
It's all I could
I know
think
what you're
of.
getting. He has like an accent of some sort, but no.
It's like, oh, wow. I don't know. That's my
no, he's like a
Popeye.
drunkard. He's like a weird, salty drunkard. Yeah. Who might be like choked up. I don't know. It's a very.
He's something, that's for sure.
He's on something. Yes.
He's hopped up on spinach.
He's hopped. Yes.
Yes,
Quote, unquote,
spinach.
Sure.
Yes, spinach.
Right.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, you know it's
the green stuff.
it's
The devil's lettuce.
Yeah, spinach is the devil's lettuce. if I have lettuce that has spinach in it, I'm done. I hate spinach.
Wow, I like spinach.
You can have it then. That's
All right, cool. Yeah, the devil's lettuce over here, over
Devil's lettuce,
having
yeah.
a good time.
And then finally, Anonymous asks, if you could hang out with any Baccano character for a day, who would it be? It's hard to say because I feel like half of them would just kill me.
Or
Well, then you pick Jacuzzi, right?
Yeah.
You pick Jacuzzi because Jacuzzi will keep you safe.
I trust Jacuzzi's gang. I feel like even though like they've proven so far, even though things seem pretty like low probability of success with them, they somehow work out. They got a dynamic going on. I'm fine with chilling with their crew. Yeah.
Yeah, like even if things went south, I would still
nice.
feel safe. You know, like I
They're
feel like we
nice.
could figure it out. Yeah.
They're not like deliberately organized criminals. They're just people clearly trying to make do.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you would be a little tempted to say Isaac and Miria, but you would they would either like accidentally rob you somehow, or they'd get you caught up in some kind of scenario. And you'd get away with it, but you'd still end up like
It's
robbing
stressful.
like 7 people and running all around town. Yeah, it'd be a lot.
Stressful.
Does anyone have any other ones?
No, I think I'd pick Jacuzzi just like I said because he'd keep you safe. That's what you need.
Exactly, that whole game.
You'd learn to love him too, just like everyone else did.
Oh yeah. I mean, I absolutely learned to love him. Watching this, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, John, when we started watching, like, you were like, how does Jacuzzi have niece Holly Stone as his girlfriend?
I didn't say that.
don't
That
want...
was your girlfriend who
That
said
was my... I thought you said it. Damn, I thought
No.
you said it. Okay, never mind. Damn. Oops.
It's okay. Fine, I was just saying, I kind of understand the claim, but it's good. It's still good. And also, the way that he got niece is because he's got the heart of a champion. And he's the nicest boy in the world. That's how.
Yes. Agreed.
Anyway, that's it. I guess we can move on to
Yes.
other stuff.
In conclusion, Jacuzzi Splot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so yeah, that's all the questions. All right. Okay, real show. Let's talk about John. Are you caught up on Irma? Or are you still behind now?
Oh, I am absolutely still behind. Yeah, no, but you go ahead and talk about whatever the hell you want. I am okay.
Okay, so LV, it's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
The recent episode was the
Yes.
parents coming in.
yeah, the parents coming in to see the climax of the basically it's a school festival, even though they're not calling it that. But yes,
Yeah.
proud of their kiddos.
And we got to see Asmodeus's mom, who is warped.
She's horny.
Yeah.
She's horny. It's scary. She's very.
It's
horny.
really disturbing.
She mentioned something about seducing, so I wonder if she's like a succubus too, or like has some sort of succubus element to her. That's scary. She almost flirted with Iruma. It wasn't. It was.
That
like,
is
oh, no.
twisted.
I know, like almost or intentionally. I don't know. I think it was intentionally. She was like calling him. I forgot what exactly happened, but like she was like, she complimented him in a way that was like, oh, this is kind of inappropriate as a parent to your friends. I mean, to your kid's friend. Like, okay. And,
Yeah, we got another Clara music number too.
It was so
shit.
good. The whole family, all the siblings, they literally shout out like, "Oh yeah." Okay, first of all, they also mentioned she has an older brother. So Clara's not the oldest. There's an oldest brother who's mysterious, and I don't know where he is. Like maybe it's like oh, he's away at college trope. But they outright shout.
I wonder if he's normal.
Yeah, I don't think so. But they outright shout in the song saying, "Oh, our daddy and like big brother's not here. That's a secret for now." Like what? What the fuck? Why is this sinister? Why is this sinister? They literally shouted out like a question everyone had when this song first happened. Like, like, oh, does she have a dad? Like a lot of people were immediately asking that when that episode happened where she was sad and the song cheered her up. People were asking, where's her dad? And they outright said here, it's a secret for now. They said it in the song. I'm like, oh, they're probably not normal.
Man, I'm glad that Clara is like that.
Yes, she's very good.
What else happened? It's just a very nice, wholesome stuff.
The award ceremony, yeah.
Oh right, yeah, the awards.
Like in Amarie's very strong outfit, it was like whoa, it was like whoa, those earrings.
Yeah. I'm just glad that the arc resolved and was like. It resolved, first of all.
Yeah,
for a while there, you didn't think it would.
It's like, right.
But that it immediately got back to like why I like Irma so much because it's so like warm and nice. Like all the moments with him and his grandfather and the butlers, like oh,
yeah, yeah, and it was just really good. Where like we finally get like more, like. Omri's father actually doing something, right? Like coming to play, and like that whole interaction with Iruma and like his, oh, it was interesting, like getting that more outlook about like, yeah, I don't think the demon world may care about humans, or like at least he was saying like, actually there was only ever one incident in all the history, as far as he knows, where a human did come to the demon world, and all they did was they just sent them back to the human world, but wiped their memories. Like that's all that has happened, because he's like some sort of insider person where this stuff is being dealt with, right? Like, but then, and it kind of was sad because we don't know where this is going to go. The series has like 3 episodes left, I think, the anime.
Yeah.
And then, like Iruma kind of ended up like, oh no, and now, he's like really happy with where he is now, and like he loves his friends, but he feels like he's still not entitled to tell them who he actually is. Because again, we don't know how significant that is, because it seems like as a human, he's just way too powerful to be here, right? But yeah, his interaction with her father was just really good, and like Amari interrupting it and really making things sound worse than they actually are, and his glasses just kept breaking like 5 times in a row, losing his mind that his daughter might be like, he's like thinking about Iruma in a weird way, or like Iruma's not doing anything, but he's thinking of his vision of like seeing Amari getting married to Iruma is like really good. And he's just like loses his mind after, and mind breaks.
Yeah.
Where it was a good like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I was glad to get more Amari after she like barely did anything for a good while.
Yeah, she actually did it. She really did do anything. She like that whole arc was just her cutting to her. It's like, oh, I hope Iruma's all right. Like that's all.
Yeah, it really was like just like every episode.
Right, like, aren't you powerful? Like, you kicked someone nearly to death one time. I don't understand. Well, she also did that rescue thing where that one girl now
she did rescue that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah. So.
That was good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was very good.
Alright, yeah, so Iruma's good. Y'all know this. We say it every week.
The episode preview has, like, an idol episode next, so... Oh,
yeah, we have to see the one who's in the ending. We haven't seen her yet, so...
Yeah, we haven't seen her yet. Might end with a concert. Wow.
That would be a good ending. I feel like they don't have that much to adapt after this point. That might be why they started going slow. Yeah. Because like Iruma, the manga started in like 2018 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think 2017. But still, that's not a lot of time for something
for
like
extra
this.
Material.
Yeah. All right, John, do you want to just, like, what is going on with you with Precure? Like, you were like, last time you were like, I don't know if I'm going to watch this, and now you're just, like, laughing about the dog being sick and shit. What's going on?
All right, so here, I have my notes in front of me here. This show is twisted. And it's
Twisted?
making me twisted. Like...
Yeah, that's what I've always gathered.
So, okay, I'll just get out in front and say, I'm not being twisted in the sense that, because look, when I was watching this, I was like, you know what, this show kind of makes me feel like a pervert watching this. I was a little worried about how I was, like, maybe betraying myself watching the show, but trust me, I'm not. I'm twisted, but I'm not fucked up. I'm not a freak. This show is making me a little twisted, though, because I am absolutely laughing every single time that dog gets sick. Like, it's the funniest thing in the world that they made the signifier for a monster showing up being a small, not talking dog sick.
It just makes me sad to think about. It's warped.
Yeah, it is really warped. They treat the dog like a normal dog, like it's at the girl's house and they feed it with like a bowl and everything. But then the other animals, they have to like sneak food to them because they can't show it to their mom. You know, like the fucking dog with like jewels on it. The parents are just like, yeah, you know what, that's fine. But then, you know, I guess a penguin or a rabbit would be the straw that breaks the camel's back here. Also, they just imply that the pathogerms who are the enemies, they're basically all in hell, and
what?
They're trying to come to Earth so they can have a comfortable place to live. So, like, there's no way that they could just figure out some sort of treaty or something. Like, hey, you know what? I know that y'all are kind of gross, but there's like 4 of you. Like, we could just like here have this section of a town. Like, here you go. Here's, like, 5 houses for you. Like, that's it. There's, like, 5
It's
of
a
them,
metaphor.
I mean, I guess. Maybe it is something to do about, like, not treating the marginalized well.
Yeah.
But they're also beating the shit out of them, so, I don't know. Shinzo Abe... Shut up.
Finally, someone says it.
Yes, someone said it. So the rabbit, who's the like partner of the redhead girl, I don't remember their names. I'm sorry. The rabbit decides to leave her because he thinks that she can't be, or I don't know if it's a he. I should assume. I think it's a he. They say that she's not in shape enough. Because when she's in her normal human form, she's kind of bad at doing like gym class things. Even though the previous episode, when she was in Precure form, she jumped all over the place, was running everywhere, catching shit, like lifting hundreds of tons in the air like it was nothing. Like, it doesn't matter what she's like in her normal form. If she's in her fucking Precure form and she can do all kinds of superhuman shit,
yeah, but maybe it's multiplied. Maybe it's like multiplied by her normal strength.
But she's fine. She still can do it.
She could be stronger. No, she needs to go on a diet. That's what all these shows do.
Yeah, I guess so. Even though she's like
a twig.
Yeah, I'm holding my pointer finger and my thumb in a circle. She's like that, you know, like it's. And of course, he comes back at the end and he says he's sorry and all that, but she's extremely bad at hiding the animals because almost immediately a blue-haired girl is just like walking around near where the monsters were, and she's just hanging out with all the animals, even though she's supposed to be keeping them a secret. She's very bad at it. In episode 3, so here's where I got really twisted. I'm super busy lately. I know I say this every goddamn time, but I've barely been able to watch any anime. I finished Baccano and all that shit. I watched this episode of Precure like right before we started recording, and because I didn't want to take up too much time, I watched it at 1.3 speed.
That is twisted. That especially for a show like that. That's
It was not a smart thing to do. I would say don't do this, and I would say you should give yourself time to enjoy things instead of rushing. But, that's fine. So the dog just leaves the house and goes to the school, and then the blue-haired girl finds it. And that's kind of fucked up. I don't know if the dog is supposed to be sentient or not. I can't tell.
But it doesn't talk?
It does not talk. The other animals talk.
Not.
They seem to imply that it's supposed to be like a baby or like some sort of they say that it's young, because there's a part where they're like in a hot spring for a hot second. A little comedy for you there. I didn't mean to do that. And they're like, oh no, she's too young. She's scared of the water. Even though the other animals are like the same size as her. They're all tiny. They're all little tiny chibi animals. But I guess she's a baby and the other ones aren't. But she can walk all across town and not get hit by a car or anything.
Well, that's good.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, I don't want her to get hit by a car. I'm not saying that's what I want to happen, but I'm just saying. So, the other animals, the other two animals, the penguin and the cat, they're trying to find partners. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, we know what's going on. The blue-haired girl and the penguin, because the penguin's blue. The cat's yellow, there's a yellow-haired girl. We're good. Let's just move on with it. And yeah, that's pretty much just what happens. The blue-haired girl, brings the dog to the red-haired girl, and they become friends. And then they go to the blue-haired girl's, family's inn, and then they attack the water from the hot springs of the inn, and then they have a fight. And the blue-haired girl becomes a precure, and that's pretty much what happens. It's just... This show is just making me fucked up. This show is making me misbehave, because I'm laughing at dogs dying, I'm laughing, or dogs being ill, I'm laughing at fucking all the dumb, product placement, because, it's not product placement, but the way that I'm watching this, the legal way I'm watching this, they keep the little you know how sometimes you'll watch a Japanese show and they'll be the sponsors, the grand sponsor. It's McDonald's. McDonald's is sponsoring Precure.
Of course they are.
They're gonna talk shit about being out of shape when they're doing that.
You know what? That's actually really true. That's you've stumbled upon something. I don't know what it is, but
it's called Life Under Capitalism is disorienting and a nightmare. But I'm gonna keep watching Precure because I keep thinking because every week I get to see a dog get the sniffles and it's very funny.
You're the sick one here, not the dog. You're a monster. That's why the dog keeps getting sick. They see you.
Yeah, maybe I'm a pathogerm and I don't even know.
Oh my god, you're a real pathogerm, bud. That's for sure.
One of the girls is gonna turn. One of the girls is gonna turn to the camera and point at you.
You.
Oh my god.
Reach through.
You're the finale. Yes.
They're not even firing beams or anything. They're just surrounding me, beating the shit out of me. It's your fault.
Well, say
the dog's just biting me.
Yeah, the dog goes rabid at the end. It goes sicko mode because
that's why it's sick. Yes.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's Precure.
Well, it sounds like something. I don't even know. I was just thinking about the dog. So the dog got so sick it got rabies in this AU we created.
I mean,
yeah, I guess if a dog's gonna get sick, it'd have to be that, really. Anyways, let me tell you about something that's warped, okay? Two things that are warped. The two different kinds of warped. One is in topic of sick dogs, but not that kind of sick dog. Mm-hmm. The Nobunaga anime where he's been turned into a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They felt the need to do this entire segment where this one dog would... So it's ostensibly... Here's the thing. I considered this to be a kids-like show. Would you agree with that notion, LV, from the episode you watched?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, it definitely is because it has like some dirty humor here and there, but like I think it's the sort of things that like like kind of potty level where like I feel like
Yeah,
the parents
exactly.
are watching it, like it's for them and not for the kid, and like I don't think
Yeah.
Yeah,
So recently, like, they keep making a lot of jokes about like what's it fucking called? The fucking thing where all the swords are anime boys.
Token Rambu.
Token Rambu, thank you. They keep making Token Rambu jokes about how like Nobunaga like is finding out that his swords are anime boys now and that they hate him and he's very upset about it, which is a good joke in my opinion.
Okay, all right, that's like
So that's what I think is like
yeah.
this is like a joke for like the kids who like have older sisters or something, and then like the older sisters like it and they're like, oh, it is weird, it's weirdo stuff, like it's whatever. Anyway, they had this entire sequence that went on way too fucking long, where it was just like this one dog being like, oh yes, I'm such a small dog, I can look at panties all the time, and I was like, wow, okay, and he just kept going on about it, and even all the other dogs were like, what's wrong with you? You are a sicko. You are sick. And he was like, no, it's great. And then they decided to just, make a horrible joke about that. And I was really thrown back by that because it was like, that's the sort of thing I expect from like a like teen anime or something, like an edgy one or something like that.
Yeah.
Not like the fucking anime where it's just dogs rolling around all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know why they have this one joke they always use. It's not great. Like, the same joke every time. But I do want to say the most fucked up joke they've made on that show by far is that one of the dogs is married to a dog who is the reincarnation of Marie Antoinette.
Huh?
Yeah. So they're all like the Japanese feudal lords, right, John? Right?
Yeah.
All the dogs are like all of them, like, like Masamune's there, et cetera, and like, yeah, one of them is just fucking married to Marie Antoinette as a dog.
Huh. Okay.
And she knows she's Marie, like, she talks about it.
Oh, shit. That's weird.
It's really
I mean,
weird.
the whole premise is weird, but like,
The weirdest part...
there's kind of this established logic for some reason that, they're all Japanese,
yeah.
like historical figures, and so why is this suddenly now this woman from a different country?
Exactly. And the real fucked up thing to me is that they keep talking about how like Nobunaga's terrible in the show or whatever, right? Like the but and like how all of them made mistakes. But then when they go to Marie Antoinette, they're like, poor soul. Like, and it's like really weird because it's like I have no object, whatever. They can say whatever they want, but it's really weird in stark contrast to everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, because they just keep going on like, Nobunaga's a bastard, man. He's hellish, he's ghoulish, like all this other stuff, and then it's like, this poor, she was a real hero of the people and stuff like that, and it was like they like painted this whole thing where it's like she went out in the streets and gave people all her food and stuff like that. History mispainted her, and I was like, what? Like, it was bizarre. It was really strange. That whole show is strange, but the ending sequences where they have the real dogs continue to get better, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that part is good.
It's really good. It just keeps
I like
going.
that.
They have more dogs than they showed in the ending originally. Like, they have all of them, basically.
Oh, it adds on?
Yeah, they keep adding them in. It's good. But yeah, the other twisted thing I was going to talk about is the Case Files of Richard or whatever, the jewelry anime that you said shouldn't be an anime, which I still agree with you.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happened. So two things. One, they are grossly irresponsible. So one of the things that the Richard man tells them in the first episode is that they should that's what I call him, the Richard man. He says to his little man that he's hired, hey, like, remember, show people respect and keep confidentiality, right?
Right. Which is what they don't do because
they don't do. They keep not doing it, and it's getting into worse and worse situations.
Yeah, they're being weird about invasive of like psychologically analyzing people based on like their ages. It's really odd. Yeah.
You saw. Did you see you saw the one where it was the woman trying to buy the Yeah. Okay. Did you see the one about the what was it? It wasn't a. I forget what jewel it was, like a rudel or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But where it was like, oh, like you assumed that she was poor or something. I don't know.
Right,
whatever.
right.
And it
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
and it was just like this weird. I don't. But I know, like there was like this stuff where like there was like a lost. Are you still watching it? No.
No,
Right.
'cause
Okay.
nothing's
Okay. So
happening.
I just wanted to make sure before I went off here. There was this like child or whatever, or no, his childhood friend who was
Okay.
selling this thing, and he was just like, I'm selling this for my grandfather, who like he's getting sick, and I really don't want to, but he's basically like demanding that I sell it for him to pay for medical bills because I've been like paying out of pocket or something like that. And they're like, okay, we'll do it for you. And then like inexplicably he's like, something seems weird, and I'm like, what? And like then he like, this woman randomly comes up to the door and is like, was this man here? And he just immediately goes, yes, and just like tells this woman all this stuff, and she's like, that's gonna be my jewel actually. And they're like, wow, we side with you, random woman who just came up and is asking for this jewel and stuff like that. And like the moral of that story at the end was like, you shouldn't sell the jewel because it represents like your relationship and stuff like that. You can always earn more money, but you can't replace this jewel or something like that. And it was like, what is the moral of this? Why do you keep telling all these strangers who walk in everything that happens? Like, it's so bad. But that's not the real twisted part.
Oh.
The real twisted part is the Richard man is going insane on hitting on this other dude that he hired. Like, and so is the other dude.
Okay.
But they don't acknowledge it. But they start to acknowledge it and then swerve it in another direction, and it's really freaking me out. So to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, at one point, like, he's in this whatever, talking to whatever one of the customers, and he says, this one goes, wow, you're very handsome or whatever. People probably tell you all the time because you're a foreigner or something like that. And then he just like goes off like, he's the prettiest man I've ever seen in my life. He's so pretty. He's like gorgeous. Hooey, you'd be lucky to marry him or something like that. And then like he gets a text that's like later when he's on like random like hanging out with a friend or something that's like, let me tell you that you are one of the most charming and caring people that I have ever met. And your words have great meaning and they carry a lot of weight. And I was like, holy shit, what is going on here? And then he takes him out to like this expensive dinner or something like that. And he's like,
a date, basically, yeah.
yeah. And he's like, I want you to know that your words have consequences and they can stir up things in people's hearts. And I was like, what is going on? And then he just goes, you're a fucking idiot for all the constantly telling everyone all the secrets all the time and stuff like that. And like this like has repeated like twice, but like he keeps being like, oh, who knows, you have a certain way of mixing up people's hearts. And I'm like, whoa. And like he picked him up when he was like crying in the rain and stuff like that. His car was conspicuously nearby, and he's like, I was just nearby. And I was like, what is this story? Like, where is this going? Are they going to follow up on it? Is it just like the classic, yaoi bait stuff? Or like,
Yeah, when I was watching it, like even the opening, if you
oh yeah,
and the ending song.
the ending sounds like it's from The Room. Like,
Yes. But like, yeah, I was watching it, like, I was like reading other discussions on it. I was like, oh, maybe it's not. It's probably just. It's like maybe it's just like, oh, it's just like a coincidence. It's just like a classic. It's like these two kind of like aesthetically pretty guys design, and like wasn't clear that wasn't going to be like weird yaoi bait. But like the first two episodes don't give that indication at all. Like no, like it's just straightforward. Like there was that whole moment too where like again, I don't remember his name, but like he runs into that woman and he's just like immediately attracted to her and has that crush her, and it's never brought up again. Never brought up again. So far.
no, they brought it up later. Don't worry.
Okay, all right, it's brought up again.
They went to a rock show together.
Oh, a rock show? Oh, concert.
No, like about rocks. Because gems are from
yes,
rocks, so
yes,
there's a tangential relation.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I don't know what he's going to college for. I just want to reiterate this.
Yeah.
It has not been made clear, but he's just randomly studies rocks.
They never say, and then he decides, yeah, this is I'll do this thing because he did that thing for my grandma and avenging her. Yeah.
They keep saying weird things about the grandma too, by the way, like
which I thought was resolved.
I thought it was resolved too, but like his childhood friend came home and was like, "Hey, like, did you ever sort that thing out for your grandma?" And he's like, "Yeah, the woman gave it to me back or whatever. Like, she gave the jewel back." And he was like, "Wow, so you're gonna sell it and like, you know, whatever." This is foreshadowing, obviously, the arc with the childhood friend. But he's like, "No." And then he just goes, "Why?" And he goes, "Eh." I'm like, "What?" Like, I thought he had, like, some deep reason in his heart, but he just goes, like, "I just don't feel like it." I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It sounds very disjointed. Like, it seems like every episode seems varied.
It just happens. It's wild.
Things are just reset. Like, oh,
it's
yeah,
crazy.
nothing happened. Like, no development happened here. Interesting, yeah.
It's a real wild show. Yeah, that's pretty much the limits of my twistedness that I just want to talk about with those. Like, I was like, what the hell? I haven't seen the newest episode of Science and Love, but you say there's a new twisted character? What was the new twisted character like?
It's so twisted. Well, you know, they're doing their thing, right? They're just...
they're doing their thing, yeah. That's that show.
Like, oh, yes, you know, shenanigans, like, you know, like, oh... so you didn't see the episode after the drinking party episode, I'm assuming, right? Did you see the drinking party episode?
I saw the drinking party episode, yes.
Yeah, and then like the normal girl like loses her shit and goes sicko.
Yeah, she like, goes sicko. Yeah.
She just falls asleep. Yeah. After that, like, you know, they're just doing their thing. The blonde guy, who again was kind of like the slacker guy, and I'm like, how did he even get in here? Like, they're grad school students, and like, how did he get here? Like, there's no rationale as to how he managed to get into this facility and be a resident, right? Like, he's just like, I don't understand these things. Like, it's all pointless. I'm like, how the fuck are you, like, a scientist in training? Why?
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, anyway. You know, my suspicion is my theory is, like, and maybe they're going to go into it, but, like, he has, like, that connection with, the gamer girl. The twisted nerd girl, the twisted gamer girl.
The gamer girl is like the most warped person I have seen in a while. Like, she's really
right. I think he did it. Like, I have a suspicion like he did it because he's probably following her because he has a crush on her, right? And like, there's that whole thing recurring back and forth thing where like she's like, nah, she's like manipulating him because of that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, she's very warped. But anyway, that whole thing happens, and like, you know, their professor, their muscle inflation professor.
Yeah, what's going on with that? It's really weird. Like, it just sort of arbitrarily is a part of his identity that he doesn't seem to lean into. They seem to lean into it.
Yeah, they don't say like, does he work out? Like, they don't say like, is that like his
ripped.
thing? He's just ripped, and like when he gets upset, like he kind of like swells up, and it's weird.
Yeah, everyone, you know, that's how everyone is. It's normal.
Yeah, and like that episode, yeah, that's how the episode starts. And their professor suggests to him, like, oh yeah, actually, why don't you actually do a probability theory thing about how like visual novels work? And like, oh, that's actually legit interesting. So that like inspired him, and I'm like, wow, he's like, why didn't he do that? But anyway, that's just the beginning of the episode. But like, you know, again, they move on to the main point of contention, like back to the main experiment of like, oh yeah, let's, you know, just do the whole thing, experiment more about like. Okay, yeah, I remember now. I think it was about the release of oxytocin, the happiness hormone. Yes,
right.
The idea of the release of oxytocin and like, yeah, what moments, like, you know, like testing out moments of like, oh yeah, this is things that make me happy or feel a certain way, you know. And then they're just going through the slideshow of like the photos from the drinking party, etc. And like when the main girl like lost her mind and was, you know, kind of like got really like wild. And cutesy with the other guy, you know, and she was very embarrassed by it. But then, like, you know, in the midst of them doing this whole thing, like, they get interrupted by the fact that there's a visitor to the facility, and they, like, don't recognize her, and the normal girl's literally saying, you know, this looks pretty bad if someone normal, like, sees this, and then hence a visitor comes in, timed with that joke. And yeah, like, I don't think she's in the opening, I don't remember. But anyway, like, yeah, and it's just like a girl with a beret and glasses, and like it turns out she's just visiting a professor. She was like a former student or something, or like she was at least a former resident, and she's visiting, and they're like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, sorry, this looks bad, but trust us, we're doing an experiment. And she is twisted. She's twisted. She's like, oh yeah, like, you know, when they explain to her like, oh, our experiment is about like, you know, dissecting like the science elements of like how love works, etc. She like gets like a glint in her eye. She's fucked up, and then she's like, "Yeah, tell me about like this whole thing." And they present to her the whole thing, and it turns out she, of course, is like some sort of like Dojin artist, which is like weird because like, okay, she was a resident here in the science. So what where does the science aspect come in at all? I don't know if that's significant at all. Or maybe that's just something she didn't want to do in the end, right? She's like some twisted, horny doujin artist, and she's like, oh yeah, I want to use you two as like examples for a new story I'm developing. And it times with the fact that they're going to go on like basically a vacation, so it might prelude to a beach episode, who knows. They're going to go to like they're going to go to Okinawa, you know, like, again, they keep flashing, like, tropical images, so maybe it's going to be a beach episode. They're going to go to Okinawa for, like, an extension of their research stuff, and she's like, I'm going to follow you guys and, like, observe you guys' behavior and stuff to, like, develop this spicy story of mine. And, like, that's kind of where it ends, and, like, why did they introduce this character? Why is this
they're
character
crazy.
But I don't, it's like, what does this add? Like, you know, it's just like, you know, we already have crazy characters. We make a crazier character so to make everyone else look normal. Like, it's, like also
Well, they have to make them look normal is the thing.
I know, right? But, like, also, like, I'm very tired of, like, the horny doujin artist, like, character who's ever, you know, and it's like, this is, like, literally the exact same character. Like, if they're gonna have that, like, be more creative with it, I feel like, but it's kind of been the exact same character. And again, she kind of doesn't make sense still. Like, she's like, why was what is her relationship with the facility? You know, it doesn't make sense. Like, again, like, it might be just a random thing where I don't need to overthink it. And like, oh, maybe she just didn't want to do science, like, in her life and wants to do horny stuff. But, yeah. They introduced that character in a series. It's going to be wild in what I feel like is going to be beach episodes, so, yeah.
Well, they had to get one in there.
They had to get one in there. I like their little, like, you know, after episode stuff. Like,
yeah.
Like all the animes that's been doing stuff, like, their twisted version of, the, you know, Kaguya, where, like,
right.
where she, like, oh, she has to return back to the moon, but she's actually, like gonna board, like, a spaceship.
Yeah.
And she wears it. That was pretty good.
Yeah, all of their, like, adaptations, I think, of the,
They're
like,
dumb,
fairy tales
yeah.
were, like, cute. At least they were funny.
Yeah.
Etc.
is fine. I still find it funny, but I'm like, oh, this is a twisted shit. It's like, oh. Not in a frustrating way, more like, oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's a twisted after credits thing? Is the Hatena Illusion show I'm watching.
Uh-huh.
They
is that the magician girl or something?
Yes, that's the magician girl.
Yeah.
There is this fucked up thing that happens every time the episode ends where it puts a question. Like, what did you do last time you were shopping? And then it puts a seiyu's name.
Okay.
And then has the seiyu
Answer, yeah.
no.
Oh.
Well, yes, but answer via a CGI bear, who is the same bear every time, who just goes gow 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 gow.
Uh-huh.
But it's the seiyu doing it.
Uh-huh.
And they do this every week, and I am disturbed by it, frankly.
Did it caption what the bear saying?
No.
Wait, so there's never a real answer to this question?
No. They just have this CGI bear go gow 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 for like 20 seconds.
Every time.
Yep.
But why?
I don't know. It has nothing to do with the show.
It doesn't sound like it from what I know of the show.
It's like, it's sick stuff. That's sicko stuff. I don't know. That's like that's someone's like thing, I think. I don't feel comfortable seeing it every week. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I look to my roommate and I'm like, why? And every time she's like, I don't fucking know. Like, what? It's, I don't know. That's all I have to say about that show right now also, because it just sort of goes. It's an original work, so I think, you know, they're still getting their grips on it, probably. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, what the hell? Got a couple screws loose in anime, folks. I don't know.
Yeah, something's going on. That's what.
There's something in the anime water. I don't know. I don't have any transition for anime water. So, John, what's going on with Pokemon?
All right. Where are my notes for Pokemon?
Oh, this bear's fucked up.
Yeah, you're seeing it now. It's warped.
Oh my god. What?
It's sicko stuff, right? Like, that's exactly what I think when I look at it. I'm like, this is sick stuff.
Oh, okay. I see the teddy bear. So is it a teddy bear?
Yeah, I think so.
So it appears in the show, but then
Yes,
no...
but the teddy bear speaks normally.
Okay. So, but then okay, whatever. Okay, well, I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, what else can you
It's
say,
odd,
really?
It's odd.
What is to be said? So Pocket Monsters.
Oh, do you have notes for that too?
Yes, I do.
Oh, pro over here. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So episode 12 was the World Championship tournament. It was like, they only showed the finals. It was Leon against Lance. And let me tell you, if this was a 6v6, I don't know how the fuck Lance would make it into the finals. Like, pure, and any kind of pure blank champion would get their clock clean. Like, I just looked over, like, the teams of the champions. Cynthia would whoop his ass. Leon would whoop his ass. Hell, even though she's a singular trainer, there was a fairy type champion in
That's true.
Gen 6 or whatever, like X and Y. She whooped his ass. So no, Lance would not have made it to the finals, but he does, and him and Leon fight, and there's an actually good match. They actually have a good battle. Yes, because Ash is not involved.
Okay.
He doesn't do some bullshit. It was cool as hell. Lance had and I dug the little nod that Lance has the red Gyarados. He's got the shiny Gyarados.
Oh, that's good.
I like that. And it was Gyarados versus Charizard, Leon's Charizard, and of course Leon wins because he's supposed to be the best in the world and all that. But it was still a fun match. I would recommend looking it up on YouTube or something if you can, or even just watching the whole episode, because it's a fun, well animated battle that I think people should check out. That's kind of all that happens. It's just like the entire episode, except okay. So one thing that happens because Ash and Go fly over there because the professor there just gets tickets for them to go there. And on the way over in the plane almost crashes because all of a sudden Eternatus shows up next to the plane. Yeah.
Just vibing?
It flies by and it almost shuts the plane off. Like the plane almost crashes because Eternatus looms nearby. And
this is because Ash skipped the story arc that was supposed to happen in Galar this season. It's just loose.
Yeah, I guess so. So Team Rocket is also there because I guess Giovanni sent them to try to catch Pokemon in Galar or whatever. And for some reason Team Rocket has a Pokedex now, and it's just this shithead Pokedex that doesn't give them the full information, and that's pretty great. Good. Yeah, it for example, they come across a Dreadnought, and it's just Dreadnought, it's a biting Pokemon, it's a water type, I guess. Alright. It's really good. And so then they try to catch this Dreadnought, and in the process of battling it Gigantamaxes, and I don't think I've ever actually fought a Gigantamax Dreadnought or anything like that. I did not realize that its neck stretched. Because, oh boy, does its neck stretch really long, and does it look extremely fucked up. I did not like to see it. It was very rude and fucked up. The next episode was just Ash fighting the Dreadnought because Pikachu also Gigantamax. This is the Gigantamax Pikachu, so it's the big fat Pikachu. I just wrote down, boy, insurance rates must be nuts in Galar, because Pokemon just growing giant constantly and just destroying everything. I can't imagine having a low rate there. But then Ash and Leon fight, and Leon wins, And that's pretty much it, though. I mean, the next episode seems like it might be interesting. I think they're going to Hoenn, and they're going to go into the desert with like a group of spelunkers, and one of the spelunkers has a shiny Psyduck. So I'm really thinking that they're just doing all kinds of shinies in this season.
Yeah, no, I'm glad there's acknowledgement outside of like Noctowl and what was that other one? It's like in like Gen 4.
I think someone else had a shiny, but yeah, I absolutely, I mean, as the shiny bastard, the shiny hunting bastard, I very much appreciate seeing more shiny Pokemon, but yeah, I like the acknowledgement, and I mean, it's especially nice when they actually do shine, because when Lance sent out the Gyarados, it did like the actual like.
But
shiny,
did it do the new shiny sparkle or whatever the fuck that thing is?
It did the new. Well, no, it didn't do the like the cubes or the stars.
I fucking hate that shit, man. I don't.
I miss the fucking shiny sparkle from like the first time there were shinies. I will always just love that thing that happened in Gen 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was always super cool. Like the screen like kind of went dark, and then there was just like that like spin. Like that was really good.
Gen 2 is good.
I kind of want to play Gen 2 again.
It's good, fucking Crystal. It's great.
Yeah.
Soul Silver, you can download a patch to fix it.
There's a lot of things you can do with those games that you can patch.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Right.
That's pretty much me this episode.
Yeah,
sorry, everyone.
That's fine. You're busy. You at least you saw the dog being sick, so at least there's that.
Yeah.
I'm also one behind on Somali, but it's I think it's good. Is it still good? Yeah.
It's still good. Yeah, I won't spoil if you're an episode behind, but it's getting juicy. We're getting some dark stuff here. We're like, oh, hopefully there's like a stress-free episode after this, but it's like,
yeah,
it's a lot.
The last episode I watched had the Harpy girl.
Yeah, but then it continues on in this next.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was
so
making
I'll not
sure.
go further talking about that. But yes, the Harpy girl and her. Oh, a human, another human. Like what's the deal with them? And
yeah,
it gets fucked up. It was like, oh, okay, that's the relationship. Wow, that's fucked up. So yeah, getting juicy. And I'm glad we're getting now kind of seeing like stakes here. Besides the fact like, our Golem friend is gonna die soon. But like, okay, whatever. But like actual threats, like, cause so far they've been kind of just vibing. They've been just going in and out. And
yeah.
We're hearing all this scary shit of like, oh, the monsters are gonna. Besides that fucked up cat in the first episode that tried to.
The cat was fucked up.
Like, why was it like that? But yeah. But besides that, like, everyone's been nice and pleasant and kind of like, again, Irumukun vibes were like. It's a little ambiguous or unclear as to how would these people actually react to a human, but what we're getting is that I'm leaning to the fact, like, I don't think they'll react as strongly as, like, these stories and kind of, like, this lore going around in the world is passing on by. I feel like it might be just not, like, I feel like, if anything, people will be scared of her. Like, I don't think people will be aggressive, but I don't know. So far, like, it's been a constant up and down of, like, oh, no, this child's in trouble. I'm stressed out. To, oh, this child is very cute. I am at peace. Like that's kind of been just every episode. So, but yeah, it's exciting. I think we're gonna. Yeah, it's still good. That's all I'm saying.
I'm glad because I see. Like I'll eat this shit up. Like I will just eat it up. I will eat it all up.
Yeah.
This format, this theme, this aesthetic, general thing.
Yeah. It's all
but
good.
I'm glad that it's actually been good. The main thing I'm appreciating specifically is it's something that like I talked about originally is just like that she's just a kid, like still just a child. She just acts like a child in the world of Made in Abyss geniuses or Promised Neverland super babies. Like
right.
I was having a conversation with my girlfriend about this actually, where specifically like children in like media never act like children, like almost ever.
Right, they're too prodigal.
They have goals, which I don't think that children have goals.
Yeah,
like, children can't form goals.
Right, like like in Somali, the real danger, honestly, is the fact that she is a child and she can wander off. Like again, like the episode where she got sick, her body cannot tolerate just the elements. You know,
Yeah.
she's not like her surrogate father, who's literally just a huskless, you know, like a husk, like he's just built and magically powered to just deal with anything. He's pretty good. He's fine. He's just literally like a piece of armor, right? She's not. She's again a human being. That's one thing, but also let alone a very vulnerable human being as a kid who's not like. Yeah, and again, we don't know much about her background. Like she seemed weak from the start. Like she's not someone who's like. She was literally found like chained up in Weekend. You know, like we don't know what's going on. You know, we don't know yet what the whole thing with that was yet. But like, yeah, she's just like not built for this environment filled with monsters where they're like more, you know, like you know they can just take the elements. You know, it's a dangerous world out there, and like you know, like that's already our foundation for like why this stuff can be scary, right? Yeah, there's too many prodigal children characters. Like even to an extent, I feel like. You know, like most anime, like that's pretty much 90% of anime. Like anime were like teenage characters, like they're too twisted.
It's not even like the super twisted ones. I think like any, like you go to like
right.
I'm trying to think of an example. Like I don't know, like when a child like is like my goal is to do X thing or something like
right.
that. It's like. Have you ever known a child who has held on to that for longer than a second and then just starts like walking away and like falling over or something? Like that's exactly what Somali's good, because she'll be like, oh, I need to do this thing, and then she'll just like spin in a circle and like fall over or something. Like she'll just do something stupid. Like
I think like the book Isekai like really brought that to a good like you know like relevant to the discussion, because it brought really good like pointed at where like she's physically in a child's body, but then she realizes those limits that she now has, because to everyone else she's a kid, but she still has the mind of an adult, and she kind of has to deal with like all the problems when it comes to that. Like I think that's like a great example of like kind of that coming into play.
Yeah,
like interestingly enough, like her mindset is like you know as we were talking about is ironically enough she actually is acting like a child that. You know, that appears in many other series, which is the problem we're talking about now, like where they're too adult, where they kind of have adult inhibitions.
And even in that series, they acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, one of the things that happens later in the book Isekai is that, like, a bunch of people go like, okay, how are you 7? Like, seriously, like,
that's good. That's good.
Like, there's a part where the boy who's helping her all the time, he's just basically stops and goes like, you are not like the girl or whatever. Like, there's no way this is you. And she has to tell him like the whole thing. Yeah. And then like, but like, and like the Dio man is just like, okay, come on now. Well, that's what he is. He's just voiced by Dio.
Yeah, he isn't. Yeah, he is.
But it's just like he's just like, how? You were 7 years old. Come the fuck on now. Like,
right. Especially, especially the weight of like, oh yeah, are you a different person after you just suddenly resuscitated from being sick? Like, the original girl died, right? Oh, that's cool. Okay, but yeah, stuff like that. It's like those things are not acknowledged, and like I think especially strong was the fact that like those physicalities of her being in a small body was really good from what I saw.
Yeah, because like you look at Promise Neverland is the best example I can think of where they're just fucking insane. Like they just those children can do anything.
Right.
Literally anything, probably. Man. Like when they were like, we're gonna teach like 6-year-olds how to jump over a gorge, I was like, okay. Good luck getting a 6-year-old to remember how to do anything is what I'm gonna say. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm glad about with Somali though. It's very real with its children. What else do we got here? How, John, are you behind on Isaacan?
I am an episode behind on Isaacan.
Okay, well, you're still more caught up than me, so how are y'all liking it? How's it going?
Oh, of course I'm loving it.
It's still good.
Yeah.
It's not really spoiling anything, to be honest, because there's not really, it's more like, it's like things are happening, but it's not like it's a plot-driven thing, right? It's just more like, oh yeah, they're on this like big project now to build like this feature film kind of thing, or like I don't remember if it's a feature film per se, but like some sort of like animation now working with the robotics club, the mech club, right, to make this big thing.
It's still a short, but I think they're like treating it as a bigger, more advanced thing.
And it's cool. Yeah, they're like seeing, trying to work out with the other clubs to like build like different parts of the series, like working with like a basically the fine arts club, essentially. Like, you gotta build backgrounds, but it's interesting seeing the miscommunication across like all these clubs that all have like creative minds and stuff, but then they're all on different pages because they all don't have the same sense of what the animation girls are thinking. Like, they have a very different technical sense of how to approach things. Like, the recent episode had them like get backgrounds from like, the fine arts club essentially, and like they're pointing out, like saying no, that's not how that works. Like, you gotta follow the layout, and the layout is essentially like the sketch pointing out very specific things and where things are. Like, like, oh, the character is gonna pop up here, so it's not gonna look right if you painted this thing this way, and they were butting heads over it, and it was very good. It's like really realistic to how these things work, and even if you don't think about that like on a professional level, that's really how group projects work, right? And it's great. And, like, the most recent episode fleshed out the model girl a little bit, actually. I still feel like not enough. Yeah, and it's good. They fleshed her out. And, like, I think, like, they're going with this direction where she never really... Yeah, like, and they made it clear from the start. She never really wanted to do this modeling thing. I feel like based on, like, what she described of her family so far, it's kind of like they got her into it because, it's like... I don't know. It seems like, again, I don't know much about yet, but, like, I'm making assumptions, but maybe it's, like, one of those things where her family didn't have much faith in her, or, like, they kind of just want to spearhead her to, like, oh, yeah, this will be good and make us money. I don't know. I don't know much of it. But it's clear, like, they showed bits of her childhood where she was very close to her grandmother, and there's this, like, Sakuga porn sequence where, like, this utterly pornographic visual sequence where, like, her grandmother is, like, she's drinking tea with her grandmother as a kid. And like, I don't think her grandmother's specifically sick, but it's more like at that point in her life, like, her grandmother's like frail and kind of like just weak, and her grandmother just throws this tea like off to the outside. Their doors are open. Like, it's like one of those open traditional style doors. She just throws it out, and then the girl is really fascinated by just the motion of her grandmother's hands and the motion specifically of the liquid coming out of the cup. So they just repeat it back and forth because she's utterly mesmerized by just how it looks and nothing else. And it was such a wonderful moment, like, where it really, I think, conveys the thought process when it comes to someone who's, like, very creative minded and, like, very visual. And it's like, yeah, like, I've had those many moments where it's like, oh, that looks cool. I wish I can kind of like make that permanent in my head and remember it forever, but you can't quite. But you have to constantly repeat the action. Then there's, like, a sequence where it actually shows her starting to do the modeling things, and she's kind of, like, in a modeling class, so to speak, where, like, she has to, like, practice her posture, how to sit right, etc., and she becomes more mesmerized by drawing her classmates and her teacher moving around and looking at herself in the mirror as opposed to actually participating in the class. And, yeah, it was just a wonderful segment of, like, her... Like Isaac's, like, kind of using her as kind of, like, a peak example of someone who's, like, a visual person, and how do you project that? Like, I feel like the last few episodes have been focusing, on, like, excuse me, have been focusing on, Kanamori, tall one, focusing on her and, like, how she's really good at negotiating. Like, this is, like, a producer character. This is, like, someone who's a producer. But finally we're coming to terms of, like, fleshing out a little more of, Tsubame, Mizuzaki, or, like, which name should I use, but of how, like, this is how someone, like, thinks when they're, like, a visual person, and, like, it was really good. It was just really good. Again, it was just straight up really good front and back. It's still consistent, I think.
Good.
Yeah. There was a really good part too where Midori is trying to talk, the small one. Midori is trying to talk with, again, the different club people. I think it was the prior episode, actually, not this most recent one, but she's trying to talk with the different club people. I think it was the episode where they're trying to get sound from the sound library person. And she was having trouble even just talking to them, or, like, she had a difficult time, like, communicating with what she wants.
Yeah.
And I think it was a really nice sense of a portrayal of someone who's introverted, I think, like, and, like, how that's very difficult to... Like, because, like, she also, like, once in a while you see her, like, hold this bunny plushie, and, like, oh, that's, like, a very interesting, it's not very noticeable, it's very subtle, where, like, she's holding this bunny plushie, and, like, it's a very, I feel like, nice sense of portrayal of someone who's introverted, and, like, her only way of conveying, like, what she wants is through her, like, hobbies and what she likes, because immediately after, like, it shows her, like, getting back to drawing, and, like, that's her better way of, like, conveying, like, her emotions and stuff, and better way of communicating. So it's, like, cool, like, how we see these three different girls, and to have all their very very different personalities have like a very important aspect to them, and like what role that means for like a sustainable film crew.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Again, it's just a consistently good series that to follow along lightly. It's very nice. It's like even beyond like teaching like, oh, here's how animation works technically, and this is kind of like the struggles people do it. It's like a just nice like humanistic show, if that's the way to describe it. I would say, yeah, it's still good. It's just good.
Good. All right, Wig. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll build upon that really quick and just like mention how that the episode before this past one was just extremely good with Kanamori. That whole sequence of them in the like ramen shop was incredible. I loved that whole dynamic that they had. I especially love how the line, "Oh, it's like getting a free meal from the Yakuza," about Kanamori. Like, she's like kind of extorting them in a way by rewarding them. She's like, "Yeah, I'll buy you all. I'll pay. This is my treat. I'm paying for your food, but I'm doing it because you're all gonna have to work really, really hard, and I'm gonna be pushing on you a lot." So it's just like, she works them really hard, but she absolutely cares, and she knows that she's doing it because she knows that will get the best out of them, that they want to do this, but if they don't have this structure, they won't do it. And, you're talking about, like, creative-minded people, and that is something that a lot of creative-minded people will do, is that they'll, like, go around to different projects, but Kanamori is this incredibly important part of their dynamic where she make sure that they nail down exactly what they need to do. Like, there's that other segment, I don't remember if it was in that episode or before, where Midori's like thinking about the robot, and she's like, "Oh no, I want to do a completely different thing. I want to redesign the robot." And Kanamori's just like, "No, you will not do that because you don't have the time to do that. We need to do this. You can't just keep changing stuff." But then there was like a compromise where they changed how the internals work and just made it like, figured out how to make it all work. And then like, it's all about like compromise and figuring out what you can do to make it better without completely ruining the flow. And that was really cool.
All right, cool. I'm glad to hear that it's still good, and I'll catch up eventually, I swear. I only watched 3 episodes still. I started watching Kamen Rider, so oof,
Oh.
yeah, going down that road. All right, let's talk about Inspector, and then I think that'll be a good amount that we talked about. The internet. What was the thing they said? The culprit is the internet, I believe, was the line.
Wait. Oh, yes. They literally said that.
It's fucking true. Yeah, you don't even need the context. It's just real.
Yeah, she's. Yeah. They basically. Okay. I actually like it. It's very intriguing. I do like what they're going at, but it's just funny out of context. They basically said memes are the problem here. Memes are causing this monster to appear in the city, killing
Again,
people.
that's true.
Like, memes, creepypasta, SCP, they're real. The show is saying that. The show is saying that. They're real. Exactly. So basically, like, a big arc is, like, again, this, like, ghost of an idol with no face, like, she's just killing people. She's just killing people around the city. People are claiming, like, oh, I encountered her, etc., etc. And she died, like, by a freak accident, or a steel beam fell on her. So, like, she's carrying around this steel beam, and she's,
as
like,
you are to do.
As you do. You just kill whatever. You carry whatever murdered you. I guess that's the rules, right?
Yeah.
And nothing really happens actually in these past episodes. The past episodes is just them talking, but it's not boring. It's like intriguing. It's intriguing. They're actually explaining things. Like, it's literally just dialogue episodes, but it's like enticing. It's not like filler. It doesn't feel like filler. Mm-hmm. And literally they what's her name? Iwanaga. Yeah, Iwanaga. She, the main girl. She's like explained, like, she's doing her like bamboozle thing. Like, she explained to the guy, an ex-girlfriend, like, she got her laptop. She's explained, actually, she's basically doing, she's basically doing it, but actually, where she breaks down saying the power of the legend of this, like, woman's ghost going around killing people. You know, it's coming through through a game of telephone basically, and she's basically explaining that her power is literally increasing because of the power of like oral communication and oral storytelling, essentially. And again, they explained this episodes prior when this arc started, where like this weird, creepy website opened up dedicated to just like explain information about this ghost and kind of like a little history about the real woman's life and her past when she was alive as an idol and celebrity. And yeah, they basically narrowed down the fact that like the only reason this woman exists is because of this website, aka because of the power of memes and like creepypasta and stories going around, like perpetuating and exaggerating what actually happens with this, you know, what happened to this woman, etc. And that's very interesting. I think that's very interesting. Like it like kind of channels into the idea of like superstition only is powerful if you actually believe in the superstition, right? And I've seen this like kind of thing explored in other like stories, etc. Where I forgot what it was exactly, but the idea of like, you know, this is silly to bring up, but like, you know, let's talk about like myth and Western culture. Santa Claus. Yeah. There's a lot of things that explore Santa Claus where like Santa Claus's power depends on children believing in him. Mm-hmm. If children do not believe in him, Santa Claus will just fucking die, right? So it's kind of the same thing here. I think that's very intriguing. But it's kind of weird because it kind of coincides with the idea that yokai just exist because they're yokai, right? So I don't know. It's kind of weird how you have these two things at play here.
Well, I mean, you could argue like the yokai are the same, right? But just older.
That's
like
true.
The older thing. Like, I mean, yokai in Japanese culture were created to explain or try to convey information or like you know, some sort of moral or story, right? Mm-hmm. Like behind all of them. So like it's like the same thing.
You're right. Like I think you're right actually, because it's kind of like they're just cemented in that like history of the culture, so in a way they're kind of like gained their permanence in that regard. Like they're kind of grandfathered in, right? They're like, oh, cool, we don't have an expiration date. But yeah, it's interesting. Again, nothing really happened, but it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm digging this. My only problem so far is, the ex-girlfriend is kind of just not good. She's kind of like, I don't know what's going on with her character. She's a little odd. Her personality doesn't know what it wants to do. She's either disgusted at what's going on, yet she keeps involving herself directly in this mess. It's a little odd. But for the most part, I do think it remains to be an intriguing series. I do like it so far. But you haven't caught up, Rose. Is that what?
Well, yeah. So I'm a little behind, but
that's essentially what happens. Like, nothing really happens. Well, a guy gets killed at the end by the ghost. Oh. But again, that's been happening anyway. Yeah, so that's not new.
The thing that gets me about this show is, I've said this from the beginning. What does she see in the man? What is she seeing?
She does nothing.
He's nothing. I do think that there was the bit in like 2 episodes ago when she was like the ex-girlfriend
showing the pictures,
and she was showing the picture. That's still really funny, and I think about that a lot. Like, it's really like
that was good.
He's miserable.
Right, he just hates himself and her. So it's like, wow.
Well, it's like, what is she getting out of this? I don't understand. Like, what could be that good?
They're all twisted. Well, she's twisted at least.
She is twisted, but she's like really good.
He's not twisted. He's just like you know, like he had right. The last episode, I think you saw the backstory episode where he explains his family's fucked up. Yeah, okay, and that's why he's the way he is. She's just twisted. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, it seems like she genuinely, like, loves it. Like, you know, at first I was like, is it just for utility purposes because of what he is and what he's capable of? And so now she kind of has to involve him, right? Because it's like, oh shit, now you kind of know all this yokai stuff like I do, and, like, I'm literally, like, involuntarily, like, the god of them, etc., or whatever. But, no, I think she generally likes him, even though he kind of has no personality.
Yeah.
He doesn't. I don't think he
Isn't
does.
that just anime, I guess, now that you say it like that?
Anime bread boys. Like,
it's just the same boy every time. Like, you could look at the Kuro and you go to fucking Darwin's game, for example. Same boy.
You know, I'm glad she's like the main character. I'm glad she's more like the main character. Because if he was, I don't think I'd be liking the series. Like,
no.
I'd have a more painful time liking the series. Because it would feel like all those other series were like, oh, you have this interesting world, but the main character is just like nothing.
He's just like, whoa. All right.
Like, whoa, or he's depressed and that's his personality, I guess. Like, what? Yeah, I'm glad because she's funny. She's like interesting, and like I kind of like the whole spiel about her. Where, yeah, I love the best part of the series is like all those bright moments where she's just interacting with the yokai to like investigate more information. It's like it's very cute. It's like, oh, look at that thing. Like the last episode, she actually is literally runs into a construction worker ghost. I think the ghost in particular is like one of the guys, or like maybe the guy himself, who unfortunately was directly involved with the murder of that idol work. You know, he was on that construction site where she was, and that's how she died. You know, and she's just like calming him down. It's like, oh no, it's not your fault. Like, and he's like sad and he's crying, and it was just cute. It was just like, oh, okay. You know, she was just trying to get more information about the idol girl. You know, and she's just confronting like this construction worker ghost. You know, and it was cute. Again, he just has like a stereotypical like ghost tale. It's just funny. Like those like the lighthearted moments in the show is just sweet, and it's just I like the world building here. But yeah, I agree. Like again, like just to reiterate, if he was the main character, it'd be like, well, and again too, like he hasn't been really doing much either. So I don't understand either.
All right, well, I'm excited to see where that show goes. I'm sorry to say this like to all of these things, but I literally am like that's how I feel. Like I
know what happens next.
Yeah, with this, is there a manga for this one? Is this based off of something?
I think this is another novel series.
Okay.
I think not actually
like a normal
light
novel.
Yeah, weirdly enough, a normal novel. Yeah.
I would believe that from how it's written.
Yeah.
It's very strict, much more stricter than a lot of light novel stuff is.
Yeah, it's very straight with like again the last episodes have been just very dialogue heavy. It's been very straight. Like it doesn't feel like it has sort of like cartoony tropes to it where it's written in such a way that's very deliberate about like, you know, I'm writing this like in the sense of like, what if this gets adapted? You know, like that's kind of like what novels.
You know what? You saying that just now, like very, very underrated aspect to praise for an anime. This anime, and I would say even probably Baccano, is the lack of like tropey sex appeal moments or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah. That's something that when we were not to go back to Baccano, but like when watching Baccano, I was like, oh my god, all of these girls like exist and aren't like weirdly like panty shotted or something like that.
Right.
Like nothing. They're just normal.
Nothing, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, same with this one. At least so far. Right?
Yeah, at least so far. We don't know for sure. But like there hasn't even been any like when they do like the like joke moments or whatever, it's like her making like a fucker face or something or like
no, but even the idol girl with her like huge boobs, like
yeah,
it's not like over focused on, like it's like mentioned as a joke, like oh yeah, she had huge boobs, and like you know the shots were weird, but I don't think they were intentionally like fan serving.
No,
you know?
no,
just,
absolutely.
Like, her character just happens to have like a huge chest size, and that was kind of like what she was. But other than that, it's not a focal point at all as to what this thing is. It's more like it's just a distinction of what that character is, right? Yeah, agreed. Like even the. Like you know, again, you know, go back to Baccano, like the romantic couples we have established, they're not even like very, like those are barely focused on. Like there's no like weird horny stuff. Besides like you know the girl, you know, I forgot her name already, but the woman with loud Russo, she's twisted, right? She's very twisted to be with that man and choosing to be with that man, right? She is horny in her own weird way. But like yeah, like we only see like maybe 1 or 2 kisses in that whole series, and it's like oh okay. But we kind of have this nice thing about like, oh yeah, we know those are couples because we don't have to. We know those are couples because of how they interact with each other. We don't need to see like, oh, we got to see them make out or have some salacious like sexy fan service scene to establish the fact that that guy likes her because he saw her panties, which is a common thing.
Yeah,
for some reason need to do. And none of that has happened.
Fucking Bokuben is the worst show I've ever seen about that. I like think about it constantly. Like if you ever wanted to see a show that is 90% that, like there you go. It is out of this world to me, which is a damn shame because all the girls in that show are really good.
That's always what happens. The girls are good, but the guys are terrible. Always this case.
At least this man isn't that bad. Like I said, his worst crime is that he's nothing.
Yeah, he's
He's kind of mean to her though, but she's also kind of twisted. So it's like sort of the thing where like I can't like it's like a scale where I'm like on one hand like
it's kind of balanced.
yeah, like
at least so far we don't see it.
Yeah, like she's really
and
twisted.
He saves her. He saves her. Like he's not like like if she's in trouble, like the first episode, like she was in trouble. And he's like, oh fuck, I gotta, he does something.
Yeah,
right? He's not gonna ignore that. Like she's not gonna let her die. But yeah, like she shows affection. She's twisted, but she does show affection. That's all we need to know. We don't have.
Yeah, and she's not like a yandere type or anything.
Yeah. She's like a teenager who's just horny, right?
Yeah, she's just a weirdo.
But the same thing, again, to go back on it, like Jacuzzi, like the way he treats Nisei and like all the things he's done for her, like okay, all right, we know that relationship. We don't need to be salacious about it to know what that means, right? Isaac and Myriad are like they love each other very much.
Yeah,
they love each other so much. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm crying.
I love them so much. Every time they did it, the ending scene to the original series before the OVAs, where it's just them in like 2002,
and they're like, "Oh fuck!
Wait, we haven't aged." Like, the idea that it took them like 70 years to realize. Also,
time has passed.
I had totally called, one of my favorite moments in Baccano was when they're like, oh, to celebrate you joining, we're going to shoot this pistol off. And they shoot it and just go, ah, or whatever. And I was like, that's fucking Isaac and Miriam. Like, I know that it is. It was like 3 episodes later, you see it happen. What is that thing they do? The two of them where they walk in a circle and then like point at each other? Like, what is that?
Oh, like finger guns?
It's a beacon. It's to power their beacon.
But
ability.
they say that like they'll say, "All right, act naturally." Like we live like we've been here all the time, and they just do that in like multiple areas of a room.
Yeah, because it's their beacon. It's to set up their beacon. That's all. Their skill.
They're out of this world.
That would be their skill in the MOBA, the Baccano MOBA.
Yeah.
There is a DS game.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what that entails.
It's an adventure game.
I don't know what that entails. I have no idea how far. I wouldn't be surprised if it only goes up to the Pussyfoot arc too. Like,
Yeah, probably.
makes sense. Like an anime tie-in. Yeah.
Alright. So we do have one more question, real quick.
All right, go for it.
Harlequin Wheels asks, what's the best time the OP or ED of the show played during the show itself?
When Sorero Days plays at the end of Gurren Lagann, when fucking Lord Genome gets out of the mech and he's just walking there and he goes, I was waiting for this. And I was like, yeah. And then it just goes.
Well, I think my pick would be the end of Kimono Friends.
You're a
I
sicko.
am dead serious when that part happens where all hope seems lost and the Kimono Friends theme kicks in and all the friends show up. I remember I was watching that. That was back when we would have Anime Nights and Chooch Chat. When we were watching that, all of us in that chat were like, oh! Like, we were all screaming and hollering. Like, it was bonkers. It was so good. That was the tightest shit. I absolutely stand by Kimono Friends being, like, one of the best examples of that.
I'm trying to think of another one.
I'm trying to think of one because there's
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I wish they did something in Log Horizon where like something triumphant happened and then they just started playing Database. I think that would be really funny. Because database, just living in the database.
I mean, there's going to be another season for them to do that. Maybe not.
They better. That's all I'm going to say. They better use that same opening or they are fools.
I just remember like when they actually did a cheerleading routine in Lucky Star and the Motoke like Sailor Fuku song actually is what they danced to was fucked up. I thought that was fucked up. I'm not saying it's good. I actually don't know how to feel about it. I just thought it was fucked up. I was like, oh wow, they're actually doing that song. Unfortunately, to bring up Lucky Star again in 2020. But I just remembered that. I was like, oh, it's happening. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Macross Frontier when yeah, Macross Frontier, like there's the grand finale battle and like that the opening plays is very good.
Man, I wish it happened in fucking Cromartie High School. Think how good that would have been. They just played doke doke doke. When they're like rolling down a hill or something. Mekazawa just killed a guy. I don't know. Like,
Oh my gosh, I think I don't remember, like after the crazy like missile nuclear like finale of Little Witch Academia, there's a very gay moment where like Akko like and Diana like embrace each other and the opening song.
oh, that was
plays.
good. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, all right. I think it was the first opening. The first opening I felt was like more memorable than the second one. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, that was good. It's very good. It was very validating, I think. Yeah, there's a lot. I feel like most like action shows would do that, right?
As they should.
As they should. You know, like what else is the reason for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I got nothing else. That's all I had.
All right. LV, you got anything?
For the same question?
Or just in general?
Anything in general.
No.
All right, then
We'll
I guess we can wrap that up.
All right.
Just make good choices.
Cool. That's a podcast. All right. So, yeah, if you want to send in questions like that, go to tumblr.com/videogamechoochoo.
No, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com.
My God, yes, that's it. videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. There you go. Send them in. We read them, etc. Opinions. You know. All right, our next anime I'm picking. So sorry if this is a semi-recent one, but I want to rewatch it because the movie's coming out. So we're gonna watch Violet Evergarden. I also wanted to pick something that's actually on a streaming service because we've kind of we broke the rule like with Gunbuster, I think, and then we just sort of went hog wild after that. We were like, fuck it, but I know that it can be tough to find the anime out there, so I just want to give people a little break this month if they wanted. Yeah, you can find that on Netflix. I think only Netflix because I think Netflix paid for it.
Yeah.
They wanted it. Wow.
But they wanted it.
I mean, you never know with Netflix. They might take stuff down. If I remember correctly, I think they took fucking Knights of Sidonia down, even though they paid for that.
They did, yeah. I think they put it back up
eventually,
yeah.
But still, what the fuck?
It was really warped and weird. There was another, I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff they did. Netflix is weird. But anyways,
is weird.
It's been there for a while, and it is still there. I know this for a fact. It's
there at the time of recording.
At the time of recording.
You should be okay to watch it in the next,
I doubt they would remove it with the movie coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just watch that. You don't have to watch any of the OVAs or anything. Just that. Okay. I think it's just 13 episodes, maybe 12. Might be 12. I don't know. Yeah, watch that if you want, and we will talk about it in a month.
In a month?
Ugh. Fuck you. Get out of here. If you love YouTube poop, I guess you can go to patreon.com/VGCC.
Yes!
To donate $3 or more, and you get episodes like this 1 week early. That's it. That's all. That's all we got. That's everything. I don't have anything more. Thank you both for joining me. Baccano's great.
Yes.
You're gonna put the ending after this in the editing process, and the ending really struck me because Yuki Kaijura did it. And you can tell Yuki Kaijura did it because she just uses the Kara no Kyokai siren noise that she uses in all of her non-Madoka songs. It's the same noise. If you listen to Demon Slayer ending, you can hear it there too. It's the same fucking noise every single time. She uses it in every song. It's crazy.
I guess that's her audio watermark.
It is, but then she didn't do it in Madoka. It was really weird. But yeah, that aside, Baccano's great. Thanks for watching Baccano if you did. Thank you to Beryl for suggesting that, because I'm glad that we watched it. I'm very glad that we watched that. It was good.
Yeah, and even if we're not doing something this coming month, feel free to send in a request for next month as well. Like, we tally up all the requests, so just leave a comment on the Patreon, as long as you're a patron, with a request of an anime for us to watch, and if it's within reason, we will absolutely do it.
Hell yeah. All right. I guess that does it then. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening. I hope you have a good day, month, week, year. That was all out of order, but it doesn't matter. Just have a good time.
It was out of order, just like Bakano is.
Just like Baka. It was in media res. In media res, wishing you a good time. You'll have a good day, and then a bad month, and then a great year. A great year.
Well, all right.
You'll see. You'll all see. Have a good time.